With 2 weeks left to go in our winter-spring season, we welcome viewers worldwide to a new edition of CNN 10. Two rival countries on opposite sides of the world are speaking out against each other, but they're also both saying they don't want to go to war. In the United States, there's a meeting scheduled for Tuesday between the Trump administration and members of the U.S. Senate. The subject, the Middle Eastern country of Iran. In recent weeks, the U.S. has suggested that Iran may be planning attacks on Americans in the Middle East. Iran has denied that. But both nations have ramped up their criticism of each other since last year when the U.S. withdrew from an international nuclear deal with Iran. Over the past week, there have been some suspicious events taking place in the Middle East. There was the apparent sabotage of 4 oil-carrying ships near the United Arab Emirates. There was a drone attack on an oil pipeline near the Strait of Hormuz. It hasn't been proven who's responsible, but Saudi Arabia blames a group supported by Iran for targeting the pipeline. Separately, U.S. officials say their intelligence indicates Iran might be putting missiles on small boats in the Persian Gulf. That body of water is on Iran's southern border. An American aircraft carrier battle group has been deployed to the region. American bomber planes and defense missiles have been sent there. American staff members have been told to leave the U.S. embassy in Iraq. That's on Iran's western border. Still, with all this going on, Iran's supreme leader has said there'll be no war. And its foreign minister added that no country is, quote, under the illusion of being able to fight Iran. At the White House, when U.S. President Donald Trump was recently asked about the possibility of war with Iran, he said, quote, I hope not. But he later tweeted, if Iran wants to fight, that will be the official end of Iran. Never threatened the United States again. 10-second trivia. Which of these grocery store chains was founded as the Great Western Tea Company in 1883? Kroger, Albertsons, Publix, or Trader Joe's? The Great Western Tea Company was run by Barney Kroger, whose name was on his stores by 1902. It's not the biggest grocery chain in America. You'll find out in a moment which one is. But all chains are dealing with some similar challenges in a changing world. Consumers are doing more shopping online. That includes groceries. More people are looking for home delivery. And dollar stores and drugstores are trying their hand at selling groceries. So the competition is fierce. And profit margins, the money stores make on groceries, are small. This doesn't mean that everyone's struggling, but smaller chains are feeling the pinch.
America's grocery shopping habits are changing. And right now, the biggest winners in groceries aren't necessarily the chains you'd expect. For Walmart, groceries are huge business. They make up more than half of Walmart's sales. The chain is focused on lowering prices and building out its grocery delivery and store pickup options. And that service could generate $35 billion annually for the industry by 2020. But it's not just big names dominating in grocery. German discount grocery chain Aldi is courting shoppers with super low prices, small stores, and its own quality brands. Case in point, about 90% of the products Aldi sells are private label. The grocery chain has more than 1,800 stores today and plans to add 700 more by the end of 2022. That would make it the country's 3rd largest grocery chain behind Walmart and Kroger. But for the company that can deliver you almost anything, almost any time, grocery has proved a tough business to crack. Amazon bought Whole Foods back in 2017 for close to $14 billion. The tech giant quickly lowered prices and gave sweet discounts to Prime members. It was all part of the plan to get rid of Whole Foods' whole paycheck image. But it wasn't enough. Amazon's 100 million US Prime members haven't flocked to Whole Foods. These days, shoppers have a lot of other options for buying organic, so Amazon is lowering prices again. Some other competitors, like Kroger, are learning from the discount chains and adding more private label products. But the new leaders in grocery have spelled trouble for smaller, regional supermarket chains. In the end, the chains coming out on top are the ones promising no frills, brick-and-mortar convenience, and rock-bottom prices.
We believe that robots should be put to work as service operators, and the first place to start is where people are hanging hundreds of feet in the air. At Skyline Robotics, we have a robot that cleans windows. So if we look at a 40-floor building that has roughly 300,000 square feet of window surface to be cleaned, it would take standard work today roughly 2.5 months of actual work to clean. And with Osmo, and just two supervisors, we can do that same work in about a week. The robot actually maps the building in 3D as it approaches the buildings. Every obstacle that it might have, like a head popping out the window or window opening, the robot will self-correct and move around it so as not to break a window.
How does it know if somebody's sticking their head out?
Well, it has computer vision and touch sensors, so it can see and feel the building.
I think the first thing people think of when they see this type of system is automation is coming for our jobs. And this probably seems like the perfect example of that. People who probably don't make high wages cleaning these buildings, they're going to be replaced by this robot.
Well, I think eventually society, mankind, will be replacing dangerous jobs because it doesn't make sense for people to be risking their lives. From where we stand, when we look at the job we are automating, it makes perfect sense for us to put the person in a safe position, supervising the robots, and let the robots dangle hundreds of feet in the air.
Nominations are open for 2019 CNN Heroes. Everyday folks making a difference in their community, their region, maybe the world. You can find out more about it at CNN10-05-2019. The top 10 heroes of 2019 will be announced late this year. Today, we're featuring the work of two finalists from 2018 who worked together to change the life of a girl in Peru.
Last December, viewers were inspired by 10 remarkable people who were honored at CNN Heroes and All-Star Tribute. That night also inspired two CNN heroes to join forces. Amanda Boxtel provides high-tech physical therapy to patients with mobility issues. And Ricardo Punchang, who was named the CNN Hero of the Year, provides free housing and support for sick children and their families while they receive medical treatment. When Amanda discovered that one of the kids in Ricardo's program, named Daleska, needed a wheelchair, she wanted to help.
He sent me a little video of a little girl who's 8 years old named Daleska, and she can't talk and she can't walk. She has cerebral palsy and she was in a stroller. She's been in a stroller for her whole life. It's time, don't you think, for her to have a wheelchair to call her own? I needed to find the perfect wheelchair that could really be a match for her body. So we've got a headrest, and we've got an adjustable footrest. We've got little side guards to keep her body straight and upright. And I had a seamstress sew some butterflies on it. Why not? Because, you know, it's about freedom and flying, and Daleska's gonna have that.
At their nonprofit training in Los Angeles, Amanda gave the wheelchair to Ricardo.
Look what we have for Daleska.
Thank you so much.
This reclines.
Whoa,
Isn't that cool?
yeah.
And this can go around her neck, so her little head doesn't fall. Yeah, we can strap her in here. See, look.
This is great.
Oh, we had to think of everything because, you know, she's going to grow with this wheelchair. You got a lot to take back to Peru.
This chair is fantastic. She is gonna be so happy.
And when Ricardo returned to Peru with a personalized wheelchair, Daleska was overjoyed.
With this new wheelchair and with her surgery, she's gonna have a better life.
The power of two CNN heroes working together to change lives.
Yes.
If you have a fear of heights, you may want to look away, because we're stepping out onto what's said to be the longest suspension bridge in North America. It's called the Sky Bridge. It just opened in Tennessee. It's about the length of 2 football fields across, and at its highest point, it has a glass bottom, so you can see exactly what's 140 feet under your feet. You actually have to take a chairlift to get to the Sky Bridge. So if you're more acrophobic than acrobatic, your senses are more frightened than heightened, you'd rather be walking on home than walking on air, and you'd rather play Go Fish instead of bridge, this may be a bridge too far. But for Luke and the rest of us Skywalkers, we love spans that leave us in suspense. I'm Carl Azus, traversing another edition of CNN.